India seeks maritime makeover with Korean and Japanese partnerships. A high-level Indian shipping group arrived in South Korea last month in a visit that was mostly kept under wraps. Their goal was to convince the Southeast Asian nations' shipbuilding titans to work with Indian shipyards and to promote South Korea's marine growth prospects. The Indian embassy in Seoul did not speak until December 18, more than 2 weeks after the delegation, headed by Shipping Secretary T.K. Ramchandran, returned. Several images, including one from the team's visit to the Samsung GOJ shipyard, appeared on social media. The visit was described as a study tour in the embassy's modest post. Madhu S. Nair, chairman of Kochi Shipyard Limited, CSL, was one of the delegation's members, along with representatives from the public and private sectors. He notes fruitful interactions with major players in the industry like Hyundai Heavy Industries, Samsung Heavy Industries, and Hanwha Ocean, formerly Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering. But he does not go into the details of any possible collaboration with Korean shipbuilders. We recently built a new dry dock in Kochi that costs 1,800 crore rupees, but that won't help much on its own, Nair tells ET. Ships can be built and repaired at the dry dock. To support it, we require a strong network of auxiliary facilities. Our goal is to find a significant international partner who can contribute both money and experience. The only options now that Chinese partnerships are out of the question are a Japanese or Korean shipbuilder, he continues. Leading firms in Japan's shipbuilding sector include well-known brands like Hitachi, Kawasaki, and Mitsubishi. When the seas are ruled by China, New Delhi is aiming for a marine revolution by pursuing Korean and Japanese partners to revamp Indian shipyards as China strengthens its hold on the world's shipbuilding sector. In reference to a recent monthly international study that claims Beijing holds an astounding 65% of the market, Nair states, China has now grown frighteningly big in shipbuilding. He continues by saying, China, South Korea, and Japan control an overwhelming 93% of the global share. He notes that India is far behind. It's somewhere in the far 17th position. Based on long-term averages, China commands a dominant 47% share of worldwide shipbuilding, followed by South Korea at 29% and Japan at 17%, according to data from the Ministry of Ports, Shipping, and Waterways. In sharp contrast, India only has 1,530 ships with a combined capacity of 13.7 million gross tons, GT, despite having a 5,000-year history of shipbuilding. The nation contributes a meager 1.2% of the world's shipping capacity and a pitiful 0.07% of the world's shipbuilding market. These numbers are insignificant compared to the more than 100,000 merchant vessels that travel the world's oceans, which include bulk carriers, oil tankers, cargo, and container ships. A growing tide. Following years of stagnation, which included the 2008 failure of Lehman Brothers and the 2020 and 2021 COVID disruptions, the worldwide shipbuilding sector is currently undergoing a stunning comeback. Since ships usually only survive 20 to 25 years until their unsustainable maintenance expenses drive them out of business, a protracted halt in new orders has left thousands of old ships in desperate need of replacement. Tighter green laws and aggressive net zero goals established by both developed and developing countries are contributing to this boom. Due to shipowners' hasty adoption of alternative fuels including hydrogen, ethanol, and ammonia, the industry is experiencing an unprecedented surge in demand. Are the roughly 30 shipyards in India prepared to take advantage of the global shipbuilding boom? The largest commercial shipbuilder in the country, CSL, is in the lead with contracts to build 65 ships, including 35 for 6 European customers, most of whom are from Britain, Germany, and Norway. Shore Wind Operation boats, CSOVS, each worth an astounding 65 million euros, about 578 crore rupees. Not every though has survived the storm. Insolvency and bankruptcy code. However, there is still hope because strong private companies like Chennai-based Tema Shipyards, Goa's Chogal or Go, and Larsen or Toubro Shipbuilding are positioned to benefit from the sector's resurgence. For the record, shipyards under the Ministry of Defence, such as Mazagon Dock, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers in Kolkata, Goa Shipyard, and Hindustan Shipyard in Visakhapatnam. Wind farm commissioning operation boats, CSOVS, each worth an astounding 65 million euros, about 578 crore rupees. Not every player, though, has survived the storm. ABG Shipyard and Bharti Shipyard, two titans of the early 2000 boom, were forced to liquidate under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Court. However, there is still hope because strong private companies like Chennai-based Tema Shipyards, Goa's Chogal or Co., and Larsen or Toubro Shipbuilding are positioned to benefit from the sector's resurgence. For the record, shipyards under the Ministry of Defence, such as Mazagon Dock, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers in Kolkata, Goa Shipyard, and Hindustan Shipyard in Visakhapatnam, are solely dedicated to the construction of Navy vessels. According to Kochi Shipyard's 2023-2024 financials, 70% of its shipbuilding income comes from defence, even with its commercial portfolio. According to Arun Ramchandani, Senior Vice President and Head of L&T Precision Engineering or Systems, we are in contact with Korean shipyards for potential collaborations on shipbuilding projects. Working together with Japanese or Korean shipbuilding companies might help Indian shipyards adopt international best practices, increase their competitiveness and efficiency, and expand their operations to a far larger scale. Construction of vessels under the partnership model would also improve India's role in global shipbuilding, he argues, as major shipyards across the world are booked through 2028. Since entering the shipbuilding industry in 2006, L&T has built and delivered more than 100 ships, mostly for defense. While the Coastal Shipping Bill 2024 seeks to liberalize licensing for Indian vessels operating along the coast and within the nation's exclusive economic zone, EEZ, which extends up to 200 nautical miles, the Merchant Shipping Bill 2024 aims to streamline vessel ownership and other regulatory procedures. Nevertheless, the fundamental problem of increasing shipbuilding is not directly addressed by either of these policies. In order to create ready-made demand and draw in collaborations from international shipbuilding behemoths, the government is strategically combining ship requirements from public sector firms across industries, from fertilizers to petroleum. According to our estimates, India will require 50 oil tankers in the next 15 years, an official who spoke on condition of anonymity said. This is a sizable, ready order for shipbuilders in India. The government has increased efforts to reduce the reliance on foreign ships and encourage domestic manufacture in response to the growing expenses of dollar payments for chartering foreign boats, which currently approach $80 billion yearly. The impending revision of the Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Scheme, which has benefited 18 Indian shipyards, is a key component of this approach, according to the 2023-24 Economic Survey. This subsidy program for contracts signed between 2016 and 2026 might be phased out by March 31, 2025, a year early, assuming the improved version is approved quickly and made public in February. According to the source, the new scheme could maintain a flat 20% subsidy, unlike the current policy where rates decline annually. In line with the goal of making India a center for sustainable shipbuilding, subsidies for green shipping could reach 30%. If approved as proposed by the Finance Ministry, the proposed amendments could potentially remove a cap of 40 crore rupees, with an estimated cost to the exchequer of 18,000 crore rupees. In order to support the shipbuilding sector, the government is also considering creating a maritime development fund. South Korea and Japan have expressed interest in building ships in India, states Sarvanand Sonowal, Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Among those he mentions as being interested are Samsung Heavy Industries, Hyundai Heavy Industries, Hanwha Ocean, and HD Korea Shipbuilding. He goes on to say that a number of states, including Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha, are eager to establish shipbuilding and ship repair clusters. The conclusion is straightforward. In order to develop a strong and competitive shipbuilding sector, India needs to completely restructure its shipping ecosystem. With Indian-flagged vessels carrying just 5% of the nation's overseas cargo, the urgency is undeniable. As global turbulence makes access to foreign oil and gas resources increasingly precarious, shipbuilding transcends an economic priority. It becomes a cornerstone of India's strategic security and resilience. स्टॉक मार्केट स्पिन की वीडियो अच्छी लगी है तो इसको शेयर करें। ध्यान रखें, स्टॉक मार्केट स्पिन कोई भी शेयर रिकमेंड नहीं करता है। जानकारी सिर्फ एजुकेशनल के लिए है। धन्यवाद।